Dear students, we discussed the questions till 1550 for KEAM 2019. So we can continue the KEAM discussion from question number 51. For atoms, which of the following statement is correct? So the choices are talking about the number of neutrons and protons. And especially, see, the very important concept for heavier nuclei, it becomes stable with one concept. And suppose the heavier nuclei, in the sense the number of protons and neutrons, it must be so high. The number of protons increases in the sense the repulsive forces between them also goes on increasing. In order to minimize that repulsive force, there should be the ingredients. So for that, more number of neutrons must be there. That is a very important concept. So for heavier nuclei, keep in mind, have more number of neutrons than protons. It is a very important concept. Number 52. Which of the following statement is not a property of a nuclear force? And keep in mind that nuclear force is an attractive force. Good. Yes, it is independent of the interacting nucleons. Good. It is a long range force. It is a short range one. It is a non-central force. Good. So keep in mind that is the answer. It is a short range force. So we can say C as the answer for the. So there is a specialities with the nuclear forces. Which of the following elements you need to remove to form an isotones? What do you mean by the isotones? So isotones means the same number of neutrons. So that is a very important concept. How we can find the number of neutrons? You just take the differences between the atomic number and the mass number, then you get the values. So here it is 8, and here it is 8. Good. So here it is 8, but here it is not 8, but here it is 8. So we can say the D is the answer. So which of the following elements you need to remove? So this one we have to remove from to form an isotone family. So others are isotones, we can say. Number 54. A good question. A magnetic field of 1 Tesla is applied at an angle pi by 3 to the vertical direction, that is decreased to 0 at a steady rate in 1 second. The magnitude of induced EMF in a horizontally placed circular loop of radius of 5 centimeter is given by. So with respect to the vertical direction, at a particular angle, say here it is a 60 degree, so there is a magnetic field. So perpendicular to that vertical direction, there is a loop. They are given the radius as a 5 centimeter. Then we have to find what is the magnitude of induced EMF. It is nothing but is equal to minus d5 by dt. So that is nothing but equal to the change in magnetic flux by time. So it is nothing but equal to in magnitude as B cos 60. The magnetic field there. So B cos 60 into that area. That division by the time. So that is equal to the magnetic field. That is 1 into as cos 60 as 1 by 2 into that area, that is pi into the radius as 5 centimeter, 5 into 10 raised to minus 2 square, that division by the time t. So that time t is, it is 1 second. So you get the value equal to as around 5 square as 25 by 2 as 12.5 pi into 10 raised to minus 4. So you get the value as 1.25 pi millivolt. And hence we can say pi millivolt. 1.253 pi millivolt. We can take that answer A. So good concept. Number 55. The dimensions of mutual inductance. So it is simple that modulus of E is equal to Em into as a di by dt. So simple equation. So that M got the value of that dimension of E division into the dimension of time by the dimension of current, that is equal to that potential is nothing but equal to work by charge. The dimension of EMF is equal to work by charge. So that W by charge into T, that division by I, the work got the dimension you know as ml square T raised to minus 2 into T division by that charge. The charge can be as I is equal to Q by T. So Q is equal to ampere into T. So into ampere, T cancel. So we get ml square T raised to minus 2, A raised to minus 2. So ml square T raised to minus 2, A raised to minus 2. So we get the answer as B. A good. So in every year, if you go through the Kerala entrance examination, you can wait minimum one question for dimensional analysis. It is a good concept. Number 56. A pure inductor of inductance 0.1 Henry is connected to an AC source of RMS voltage 220 volt. Its angular frequency, keep in mind its unit, the RMS current is. So it is given the value for L is equal to 0.1 Henry. The RMS potential is 220 volt. The frequency is given as 300 hertz. So our aim is to find what is RMS value. So VRMS value division by the impedance. So impedance is nothing but equal to omega into L. So that is equal to VRMS as a 220 division by 2 pi omega as a 2 pi F into L as a 0.1. So equal to as a 2 cancel. So 110 by as a pi into the frequency as a 300 into 0.1. So that zeros are cancelled. So you get the answer as 11 by 3 pi. So 11 by 3 pi ampere. So we get the answer as E. But don't confuse with the angular frequency concept. But here it is expressed not in radian per second. It is in hertz, and hence it is a frequency just. 57. An LCR series net circuit of inductance L, capacitance C, and resistance R, the impedance is minimum. So we can say that is happened at resonance. At resonance, we know XL should be equal to XZ. So that means omega L should equal to 1 by omega C. That means omega square take the value as 1 by LC. So omega take the value as 1 by root LC. So we can say B as the answer. Good concept. Number 58. A Carnot engine is operating between a hot body and a cold body maintained at a temperature T1 and T2. Considering the following three cases. 1. The temperature of the hot body is changed to T1 delta T and the cold body is at T2. Second one, the temperature of the hot body as T1 and the cold body is changed to T2 plus delta T. Case 3, the temperature of the hot body is T1, okay, but the cold body is changed to T2 minus delta T. Whatever may be, you know the concept for the efficiency is equal to 1 minus T2 by T1. So whatever may be the case, in order to increase that efficiency, that T2 should got the LOL value. That is a very important concept. So that is a very important concept. So we can take the concept as the efficiency is highest for that. So T2 is decreased to that much value. So C is the answer. 59, a simple concept. Some smoke is trapped in a small glass container and is viewed through a microscope. A number of very small smoke particles are seen in continuous random motion as a result of their bombardment of air molecules. If the mass of the smoke particle is about 10 raised to 12 times higher than that of an air molecule, the average speed of a smoke particle is. So you should differentiate what is the differences between most probable, average and RMS velocities. So if you comfortably know the concept, the V average is nothing but equal to root 8 RT by pi m. By using the concept of PV is equal to NRD, by substituting that one, we can say the average proportional to root small m, the total mass. So that is a very important concept. So V average is proportional to 1 by root mass. So if we know that concept, we can just take for the two cases as V2 by V1 is equal to root of M1 by M2. And it is given that concept as the second mass is given 10 raised to 12 times massive. So M1, that is 10 raised to 12 times massive as M1. So M1, M1 cancel. So you get the value as 1 by 10 raised to 6. So V2 we can write as 10 raised to minus 6 times of V1. So we can say the 59 one as the D as the answer, a simple concept. Yes, number 60. The standard length is maintained by 1 meter long bar made up of material having coefficient of linear expansion as expansivity as 1 into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree Celsius. If the length of the bar were to be preserved to an accuracy of 1 bar per million, so we have to maintain as delta L by L as 10 raised to minus 6. What would be the maximum allowed temperature variation? You know, as L dash take the value as L0 into 1 plus alpha delta theta. That means L dash is equal to L0 plus L0 L alpha delta theta. So L dash minus L0 by L0. So that we get the value as alpha delta theta. So we this have to maintain as a 10 raised to minus 6 by alpha. So that is a 10 raised to minus 5. So that is the change in temperature. So that is the value. That's the 10 raised to minus 1. So the 0.1 degree Celsius. So you get the answer as B as the answer. Number 61. Inside the engine of an automobile, the cylinder compresses the air from approximately the standard temperature and pressure to 1/20th of the original volume and pressure of 50 atmosphere. Then what is the temperature of the compressed air? So we can just use the ideal gas equation. You know, B1 V1 equal to nRT1. For the second case, we can write as P2 V2 is equal to nRT2. So that is a very important concept. So you just divide it as P1 V1 should equal to P2 V2, that is equal to T1 by T2. So we get the equation for T2 is equal to as P2 V2 by P1 V1 into T1. So that is equal to, it is given the second pressure, it's become the 50 atmosphere pressure, and the initial one, the standard pressure as 1 atmosphere, and the second one, the second volume become 1 by 20 of initial. So the temperature it is given at the standard value. So that is equal to as a 5 by 2 times of 273. So you get the answer as a 682 Kelvin. So a simple question, just the skill of problem is required. Number 62. A spring of natural length L and the spring constant 50 Newton per meter is kept on a horizontal frictionless table with one end attached to the rigid support. First, the spring was compressed by 10 centimeter and then released to hit a ball of mass 20 gram kept at again the natural length from the rigid support. If after hitting the ball, the natural length of the spring is restored, then what is the speed with which the ball moved? So the one length that is with one end to the rigid support. First, the spring was compressed by 10 centimeter to hit a ball. So, and here a ball is placed here. So what happened? What is the speed with which the ball is moved? So that is a very important concept. So whatever may be the one, that ball gains kinetic energy, that is purely from the potential energy of the spring. So we can easily say x is the compression that given to the natural length. We can say half k square that is used for its kinetic energy. So we can say that a half cancel. So v square take the value equal to k by m into x square. So that is equal to k, it is given as 50 by the mass, it is given as 20 gram. So 20 into 10 raised to minus 3, that much into that x square. X is what? 10 centimeter. So 10 into 10 raised to minus 2 the whole square. So equal to, so you get the value as 2.5 into 10. So that is equal to 25. So we take the value as 5 meter per second. A good concept. So we can just use that conservation of energy. Number 63. In a water container, an aluminum piece of oleum, 0.5 meter cube, is lowered through an external force until it is completely submerged. In another identical water container, a lead piece of the same oleum was similarly submerged using the same amount of external force. The mass density of lead is 4 times larger than the mass density of the aluminium. If Fa and Fl are the buoyancy forces acting on aluminium and lead respectively, then which of the following statement is correct? At first you go through what I mean by the upthrust or buoyant force and also the Archimedes principle, that are the very important concepts. So from that you know the upthrust or buoyant force acting is nothing but equal to volume inside into the density of the liquid into G. So keep in mind the volume, that is the more relevant concept. Here we are submerging the same volume of two different materials, and hence we can clearly say Fa should equal to Fl. The upthrust depends upon the volume under consideration, and hence we can say E is the answer. Number 64. A boy formed a bubble and a liquid drop from the same soap is water. The pressure difference between inside and outside of the soap bubble. For the soap bubble, the pressure difference between inside, that is the excess pressure, that is given as for a bubble, that is 4 sigma division by R. So that is given, that value as 100 Newton per meter square. If the radius of the droplet is half of the radius of the bubble, the radius of the droplet is half times of the radius of the bubble, then the pressure difference between the inside and outside of the droplet. So we know that is the excess pressure for the droplet is 2 sigma division by SRD. But you know here you can write as that is 2 into 2 sigma by RB. So 2 sigma we can write as what? Yes, 2 sigma is 100 RB. 100 RB, that division by 100 RD is 100 RB by 2 into RD. So that is a concept. So you can just substitute that for that RD. That RD is what? RB by 2. RB cancel, 2 to cancel. Again, the value become 100. So you must carefully note what is the difference in excess pressure for a bubble and a drop. So sigma here we can consider as the surface tension. Number 65. A block. A mass M suspended vertically by a massless ideal spring with a spring constant K is at rest. So at first you can just take a spring. So it is the natural length. Then a block M is, and that spring is at rest. So that is the natural length. So there is an X extension is formed because of the weight. So we can say the restoring force developed is nothing but equal to mg into x. Then what happened is that, say, okay, with respect to the ground, we can say the H potential energy is there. So here the potential energy is decreases. So that is equal to H minus x height is there. Then now it is compressed to, or it is moved upward to a height h, displaced upward. So now the spring with the mass become like this one, say. So with respect to this one, so h height is there. That means from the natural length we can say that h minus x to the case. Then the mass is displaced upward by a height h. When released, the kinetic energy of the mass will be proportional to m. So once again, a mass m suspended vertically by a massless ideal spring with a spring constant K is at rest. The mass is displaced upward by a height h. When released, the kinetic energy of the mass will be proportional to. So that is the natural length. Because of the mass weight, it got an extension of x. Then it is shifted to h height. So whatever may be, we can just considering the initial and the final concept, we can say the conservation of energy should be there. So we can say simply we can move with the concept as this one. See, suppose the initial condition, so we can say like this one. In this case, it is at rest. So that is the initial condition, and that is the final condition, say. So initially the potential energy plus the kinetic energy, that should equal to U final plus a kinetic final. So what is the potential energy? Because of the gravitation we can say that mg into that h minus x. Yes, plus because of the extension there x, so half k into x square, plus what about the kinetic energy initially? It is 0. So that should be equal to what is the potential energy at the final stage. So in addition to that, it gains h minus h extra distance. So mg into h plus h minus x, good, plus there is actually h minus x extension is there with respect to the natural length, and hence we can say that half k into h minus x the whole square, and there also at rest say. And keep in mind this amount of energy is utilized to gaining the kinetic concept. So keep in mind especially this part is fully converted into the kinetic. So if you just take that function as a half k into x minus x the whole square, so that is equal to half k into x square plus x square minus 2x. So that is a very important concept, and that purely depends upon the square of h and x. So and hence we can say d is the answer. So that is a very important concept there. Question number 66. The instantaneous power delivered to a damped harmonic oscillator by an external periodic force under steady state condition is, we can logically say the answer. And before that, we can just think about a damped oscillator. For a damped oscillator under consideration, so it is a non-conservative system. So if we just take what is the total energy, it is a half mvx square plus a half k into x square. Suppose you need to find the energy per unit time equal to, we can say as mvx into dvx by dt plus kx into dx by dt. dv by dx is what? The acceleration. Dx by dt is what? Velocity. So you get the value as m vx ax plus kx into vx. So we can take that vx in common. You get the value max plus kx. But at the beginning, the force net acting on it is nothing but equal to minus the restoring force due to the restoring force developed minus the damping force as a b into vx. So from that substitution, you get the value as max plus kx is nothing but minus b vx. So the power there for the damped oscillator is minus b into vx square. So damped one, the damped one always are always negative sign. But the question is here entirely different. What is done by the external periodic force? So in order to overcome it, that periodic force power should be opposite in direction. So always, whatever may be the condition, we have to take as a positive in concept. So that periodic force must be positive always. So that is a very good concept. So A is the answer. Number 66, the quality factor of a damped oscillator. And keep in mind, we can define to be that quality factor is equal to 2 pi into the average energy stored. It's a simple relation. That division by energy loss in one cycle. So it is a simple formula. So you get the answer as C. So keep in mind, it is a very good concept, even applicable for our AC circuit also. Keep in mind. Number 68. A ball of mass m is projected upward with v0. The speed at a height h is. So keep in mind, have a lot of dependable factors that we at a concept. But you just go through the each and every cases. See, the velocity after a time t for say in the upward direction at an angle. So we can just here the x velocity is there, there is y velocity is there, vx is u cos theta, and vy is u sin theta minus gt. Then you can solve it. The net velocity is nothing but equal to u square plus g square t square minus 2u g t sin theta. It is a very important concept. So keep in mind the theta, the direction, that is a very important concept there. Independent of angle and direction, independent of mass, angle and direction of projection. So the more correct answer we can say as a C as the answer. Number 69. An object having velocity 5 meter per second is accelerated at the rate of 2 meter per second square for 6 seconds. Find the distance traveled during the period of acceleration. So there is a simple question. S for an accelerated motion, S is equal to ut plus half a t square. The initial velocity is given as 5 into that time as 6 plus half into the acceleration as 2 into t square as 36. So you can write 30 plus 36 is equal to S 66. So that is the value. So 66 meter. So D is the answer. Number 70. A vehicle moving at 36 km per hour is to be stopped by applying brakes in the next 5 meter. If the vehicle weighs 2,000 kilogram, determine the average force that must be applied on it. So you just know v square equal to u square plus 2a into s. So the final velocity is 0. The acceleration should be negative and can be write as f by m into s. So we needed to find what is the force there. So u square take the value as 2fs by m. So we get to the braking force required as u square m division by 2s. So here the velocity given as 36 kilometer per hour. We have to convert that kilometer per hour into the meter per second. So you get the value as 10 meter per second. So 10 square into the mass here as 2 into 10 raised to 4, 3, that division by 2 into the separation as 5. So equal to 10, 10 cancel. So we can write 2 into 10 raised to 4 Newton. So that is the force required to break it, stop it. So 2 into 10 raised to minus 4. The next question number 71, a good question. A block of mass 20 kilogram is suspended through two spring balances with a negligible mass as shown in figure. What will be the readings in the upper and lower balance respectively? So you should know, especially you must go through the video as a spring force and connected systems. Friction. So are the very important videos in my channel. It is a very important concept. Keep in mind, as a spring is given with a weight, so it measures the kilogram weight. So it will measure necessarily 20 kilogram. But if you just connect on another spring on it, so it is massless, and hence again it must shows a 20 kilogram weight. So the answer should be E as the answer. Number 72, the last question, a simple question. Two masses connected in series with the two massless strings from a support. Find the tension in the upper string is. So what is the tension in the upper string? So here we can consider these two weights are acting vertically downward. So we can say M1 plus M2 into G, that is the tension. So simply D is the answer. So the students, God bless you, but keep in mind one thing. In these days, if you are with the maximum MCQs and have to give importance to every topic equally, but content wise, the chapters with more content could give maximum time to solve maximum MCQs. Then you can get maximum rank in Kerala. Only hard work that will give success. Thank you. Take care.